Hey friends, Lark Fraser here. I am the founder of Lark About Design Co., and I build awesome websites for tiny businesses and nonprofits. And I am on a mission to help the little guys like you and me figure out all of this tech and marketing stuff one tiny step at a time. So today I'm super excited to show you one of the very best updates that Squarespace has rolled out, in my opinion, maybe ever, maybe in a very long time at least. And that is the brand new SEO dashboard. So, if search engine optimization, or how do I show up on Google, has ever felt confusing or time consuming or like something that you're just gonna probably get to later, first off, please know that you are not alone in that. I hear that all the time with my clients, and this update is gonna change the game for you. I promise. It's going to help you build your website with SEO in mind and just really set yourself up for success, also with accessibility, which is pretty sweet. So let's dive in. I'm going to show you exactly where to find it, what's inside, and how it's going to save you time and help you really hit those accessibility and search engine goals a lot faster and a lot easier. All right, let's do it. All right, so welcome to the Mr. Doggles test website. This is just a dummy website that I have set up when I want to show people some things in Squarespace without revealing anybody's personal data, anybody's client data. So welcome to workinfortreats.com, a very, very real website. So when you are in your Squarespace editor, you're just going to come right over here to the left-hand panel, and you'll notice that under this tab that says website, there's now a tab that says SEO. And we're going to click that, and, oops, sorry. And so this very real website is just from a Squarespace template, so it's nothing super fancy. But you can see that even right out the gate, this we've hit this 59% SEO completion score because in that template some of the images already had alt text. Okay, so this right at the very top is my favorite part of this new Squarespace feature. It shows you how many pages you have. And it shows you how many images you have. And the most important things for that, I like to think of it as like that sweet spot of the things that make your website more accessible for people with visual disabilities and help you out with SEO, with being found on Google, are these two things: pages with metadata and images with alt text. So let's pull this open and I'll just give you a live example of what those actually are. Okay, so we have to say, all right, introducing Squarespace AI as a generative writing assistant. All of that, you probably know these things, but you do have to agree to them. So we're going to hit OK. We're going to agree to that. We are still responsible for everything that we publish, of course, even though it is written by a computer. At first, we always want to be looking over everything that it says, making sure that it is true, that it is accurate, and it is actually what we want to be shown about our business. So that is some kind of common sense, but always good to revisit. Okay, so review SEO metadata. So metadata is the information that sort of lives like behind the scenes or kind of underneath what you see on the outside of your website, right? And that is the stuff that gets fed to Google, and it shows you things like this, right? Like things like your page search title. It shows you this preview of this text that when you find something in Google, it's this little blurb that helps somebody understand what they're about to click on, right? So all of this is about, and this is why that generative AI, I guess it's a disclaimer that we had to click. Part of why that's so important, right, is that we want to make sure that what we are telling people is on our website is actually on our website. We want people on the internet to have a good experience when they land on our website and not be surprised or feel like they've been misled. So in this case, right, Mr. Doggles, if this was a real website, this metadata would be absolutely wrong. So what we're going to do is we're going to go hit edit, right? And we could just hit regenerate, but what we're going to say is we're going to go to edit and we're going to say about learn the story behind Mr. Doggles. And so it's that easy, right? So we can say a leading fashion icon, Mr. Doggles has won Best Boy 7 years running. Get your dog protective eyewear today. I really want to build this as a real site. So this is where we learn to put our keywords. This is where we learn what are people actually looking for when they're finding us on Google. And so you used to have to go in on each page, you used to have to go in to fill out these things, and it was really easy, especially if your website's been around for a while, or it's a little complicated, or you're just not really sure what you're doing yet because this is new for you. It's really easy to miss these things. And then you kind of aren't showing up in Google very well. So I love that this is like all centralized in one place now. That is going to be a game changer. Alrighty, and so then we're going to hit continue, and this just takes us to this next step, which is our alt text. And if you're not familiar with the concept of alt text, because that is just a box in your website builder that you just consistently click past, again, no, you're not alone. Alt text just means alternative text. And so what that means is that for someone who has a visual disability and is using screen reader technology, that means that when they are listening to the narration of what is on your website, they're not totally missing out on everything that you've put into the visuals, right? So in this case, this Mr. Doggles, right? This image tells us a lot, right? Why is it called Mr. Doggles? Because he's a dog who wears goggles, right? It's funny, it's cute. It tells someone about the story. And so we always want to make sure that we are offering a great experience for all of our users, including people with visual disabilities. And the way that we do that is with alt text. And then the other really cool thing about alt text is that in addition to that accessibility piece, it's also really helpful for SEO, right? It's helpful for showing up in Google search engines. It gives Google a way to categorize / catalog images, right? Because it's functioning off of this information. It's functioning off of this alt text. So it gives it a way to show people exactly what they're looking for. And it allows our images to appear in Google image search. It's just scanned the images that are on my page, and it's just generated these from nowhere. And I can't even tell you, I mean, to do a whole website, it used to take me, I would usually plan for about an hour, maybe an hour-ish, depending on how heavy someone's website is, hour to 2 hours even, depending on how many, photos they have and things like that. I used to have to plan about that much time for writing alt text. And I would like throw on a show and just like, just type to describe images. And you see how fast that was. That was like nothing. Like it was so fast. And now all we have to go do is just make sure that all of these are accurate, right? And make sure that if there's anything we want to say in particular that is more relevant, right? So we can say we're going to change it from dog to Mr. Doggles. Mr. Doggles is wearing black glasses and white lenses, black dot pattern, lying on a gray blanket. Great. And then we're going to say save, boom. Done. Obviously, your website's going to have more than 3 images, probably, but it really is that easy. So I'm so blown away by this new feature. I think it's really incredible. Like I said, I've already used it all the time in my professional web design work, and I can see this being such a helpful feature for really leveling the playing field for folks who are out there building their own websites, who don't necessarily have all of the technical knowledge about these things, but really would benefit from being able to understand them a little bit. The last thing on this SEO dashboard that I'm really in love with is that they've just centralized a lot of the other great SEO features that they've had for a while now, right? So the ability to add a fave icon, which is this little box here in the corner, right? So in this one, we can see it's a box because it's Squarespace. In this one, we can see it's a Facebook logo because that's Facebook. So that's where we can do that. Sometimes that's something that's easy to lose. This is the same feature that they've had for a while, but it's just relocated here. Review keywords. They have some suggestions, right? And then finally, this social sharing piece. So this is something that gets lost a lot, right? This is a question I field a lot from website DIYers is like, how do I change how my website shows up on Facebook? When I share it, it looks all weird, or it's like this old photo, or nothing shows up. So I'll show you real quick what that actually is. So your social share image is what happens when you share your website or when someone else shares your website on a social platform, right? So it's this beautiful branded visual piece that makes it way more exciting than just a link. It sort of helps people understand where they're going and what they might be able to expect when they get there. And this is a really excellent way to integrate your marketing and really make sure that when your website is being shared, it is doing the heavy lifting of helping people actually go to your website. Check it out. Obviously, there's a lot to love here. And I, honestly, like I said at the beginning of this video, like this truly is one of the best updates to Squarespace that I have seen in a really long time. It's going to be awesome for beginners who feel overwhelmed or just don't even know where to start with these kinds of technical things. And I just really see this being an excellent tool moving forward. The only thing that I will say about it is that and this is especially something that, I see with people who aren't super familiar with the concept of SEO, is that SEO is a long game, right? SEO is not a one and done, I'm going to go through and fix my website for SEO, right? SEO is people. SEO is search engine optimization. And who uses search engines? People do. And people are always changing. The way that people are finding your website changes over time. And so part of SEO is about that sort of tweaking it over time, seeing what's working and seeing what's not. And so, this is what I do when I build all my websites, right? Is I go through and I say I have an SEO sweep, right? So I say we're going to make sure that your website is set up for success. And then after that, the tweaking of all of those things to learn further about your SEO, to really hone and improve it, that's really like a different tool. That is a different tool, or that's hiring a professional agency or working with an AI tool, which there's some of those that have come out that I really love. So unfortunately, it's not a one and done forever, but I will say it is an excellent start, and it is a great way to help small businesses really optimize for SEO right from the get-go when they start their website, and then be able to learn more over time. And I love that. And if you love this kind of nerdy, helpful walkthrough type thing too, I would love for you to come join me inside of the Awesome Websites membership. It's where I teach people with tiny businesses and nonprofits how to turn their websites into the most powerful marketing tool that they have. I really pride myself on not using jargon, presenting things in a way that doesn't include any overwhelm. It's just like one tiny lesson and one actionable step at a time. Plus, there's some really awesome community support and some expert support along the way too. I've actually got a lesson coming up soon breaking down the SEO dashboard even further that I'm adding to the whole section about understanding SEO for small businesses. And I'd love to see you there. So hit that like button, subscribe if you're into that kind of thing, and drop me a comment if you have tried out the new dashboard. I really want to hear what other people think about it and how, especially website DIYers with small businesses are finding it. How's it going for you? All right. Well, I'll see you next time. And remember, I want your website to be awesome and I can help you get there. So come hang out.